We're going to be getting our full-blown acceleration here with the new MDX. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over a 2022 Acura MDX in the tech package. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Jody Wilkinson Acura for giving me some time with this MDX. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. Under the hood of the MDX, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 267 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the MDX. So first off, you still have the same lines on the hood that you had for the 2020s, but it just looks a little bit sleeker, and this extra line here definitely brings things together. Coming down below, full LED lights with the LED accent light that comes up, and then you've got pretty large grille here at the front end with the Acura logo there in the center. It also doubles as a sensor. Parking sensor just down below that. But yeah, overall, definitely a really good looking vehicle, and like the new Acuras look like spaceships. Coming on the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. As for the design on the wheels, I think it looks really neat. It just kind of has this like cool futuristic look to it overall. I think that's kind of like the theme they're going for with the new Acuras. Got the chrome there on the front, and then notice you got the chrome there that goes along the side, and then there's that little chrome strip there in the mirror, and then it wraps all around the windows as well. And then other than that, here's your full side view on the MDX. Now let's pop into the rear of the MDX. So first off, you got the covering back here, and it does say MDX on it. And then if you lift this up, you got some extra storage space. And then you do get the power outlet right there, just a 12 volt. And then with the seats, you just have to pull that down, and then you push the seat forward, and that's how you fold the third row down. And then, well, got to pop the headrests up just for aesthetic purposes, but it's everything for the back. So, well, let's close her up. Now going over the rest of the rear of the MDX, notice that you've got the full LED lights here in the rear, and Acura is kind of going for like a similar light on most of their vehicles, because you can see you've got the TLX over there, and again the taillights look eerily similar. And then you've got all your badges here, parking sensors at the bottom, and then I really like the shape they did for the exhaust tip covering. I think it looks really neat. And then again, other than that, there's the rest of the rear. Now let's go over the door panel here in the back of the MDX. So first off, got nice soft touch leather here on the side, and then down below as well. Got a little sunshade here. And then I really like this trim that they integrated on that part of the door panel, right around the door handle. And then here are the seats in the back, so full leather. You've got the perforated leather that goes all the way down the center portion. And then you can see the seats are labeled for the different adjustments. But let's actually pop in. So stepping in, pretty easy to get in. Ooh, these seats are soft. You can see headroom's good. I'm 5'11", and then there's my legroom as well. And then we've got all of the climate controls here for the rear. You do get your own climate back here. You can see you can charge some devices in that little area. And then, yes, if you have the magic touch, oh, I forgot, it's strapped down here. I just made myself look like an idiot on camera. Anyways, pull that strap, and then that'll pull down the whole seat. You've got some cup holders, and then notice more leather all around, and that's the back of the MDX. Now going over the door panel here on the front of the MDX, again, notice you've got all the soft touch leather here and then across the door panel. Then you got more of that trim here at the top. All of your memory seat controls there on the side. Window controls are just down below with your mirror adjustments. And then here are the seats at the front. So again, full leather, perforated leather down the center portion. Got really nice bolsters there. There's your adjustments on the side of the seat. And then here's the pedal layout just down below. You've got your parking brake just up above. And then you got this for the safety tech, your stability control, parking sensors. And then notice that you've got the steering wheel adjustment, which is automatic. And there's one more look before we pop in. Here's the steering wheel in the MDX. So first off, you got soft touch leather around the whole steering wheel with the stitching there in the center portion. And then on the sides of the steering wheel, you've got all the controls. So like you got your cruise control, your lane keep assist, and then that's for the follow function on the cruise control itself. Volume controls on the other side. Got these paddle shifters on the back. Got the little stock there for the turn signal / lights. Windshield wiper stock on the other side, and it's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center stack, which is a full digital screen now in the MDX. There's a bunch of different menus you can scroll through there on that side that you can basically just see different bits of information on the MDX, and then like you can go for the safety tech, all that kind of stuff. But overall, I think it looks really good. Now when you do change the drive modes, it does change the whole look of the screen. So notice you've got the sport mode, You got the normal, got the comfort, and then you've got the snow. Notice in the comfort mode, it really doesn't show a whole lot. It pretty much just makes the screen plain, shows you what speed you're going, but you don't have to worry about the RPMs or anything, whereas in the normal mode, it's like, yeah, you can see the RPMs, and then the sport's like, RPMs, that's all that matters. Here's the center infotainment system. If we pop into reverse, backup camera's gonna pop up. You've got all those different camera views that you can scroll through to basically change the different viewpoints here on the MDX. Pretty simple system to go through, and I mean, other than that, camera system's good. Trajectory line turn with the steering wheel, and that's all she wrote. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, pretty easy to use. Makes some interesting sounds when you scroll through the different screens. It does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It is not a touchscreen. You control everything via a little keypad, so you guys can see I'm doing that kind of thing to go through the different menus here on the MDX. But yeah, that's everything for the center infotainment system. Now, down below in this whole area, you've got the climate controls. Now, this does have a tri-zone climate, so you've got 2 climate zones for the front and then 1 for the rear, and that's controlled all via there. This is that little drive mode select that makes the video game sound. And then you've got your transmission selector here, so you've got your park, reverse, neutral, and then drive, and then the shift is for the manual function. Auto stop start, and then your brake hold, and then you press this and the USBs just pop up right there. And again, you guys saw that earlier, the keypad to control the infotainment system. Volume controls right here, and then you've got some extra storage space. Now I've got some stuff happening here, a couple cup holders, wireless phone charger. Now this is kind of like doubles for 2 things. So first off, when you have your phone under here, it'll prevent your phone from like knocking up if you go over a bump. But the other thing is it's your wrist rest for that little part. And then we've got the center console, which opening it up, you got the 2 different tabs, decent amount of storage space with some USBs. Nice leather there on the top. Really like the black trim. Notice all the leather here on the dash on top of that. And then opening up the glove box, decent amount of storage, and then you've got nice felt inside of it, and that's all for that part. Up top here, I've got a sunglass holder, and then full panoramic center for the controls for the center for just right there. And then you just have a traditional mirror, and well, that's all for the top. Here's a window sticker on this 2022 MDX. I love the name of the color, Liquid Carbon Metallic. Definitely a nice name for a color. But feel free to freeze the frame on any part of the window sticker so that you guys can read all of the standard equipment that comes with the MDX. And then you guys can see the optional equipment. That liquid carbon's $500 option. But here's a total MSRP, $55,125. Let's take the MDX out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility here in the 2022 MDX before we set off. So visibility of the hood is actually pretty good. It feels pretty much the same as the older MDX. I love the leather dash on this. There's your visibility through both of the mirrors. And then here's throughout the rest of the rear, which is actually better than the old MDX. So we went on visibility too, but let's set off. So we are setting off here in the 2022 MDX, and oh boy, driving these things back to back, you can feel such a big difference between the 2020 and the 2022. So first off, driving on the same exact road, it is crazy how much nicer the suspension is on the newer one. It doesn't get nearly as upset as the old one. Like it just feels a little bit more planted, and yeah, you still can hear and somewhat feel what's happening on the road, but not nearly as much as the previous MDX. So definitely nicer from a ride quality standpoint. And then the installation in the cabin is really nice, and Lamborghini Urus, it's always fun seeing those. But yeah, really well insulated here in the cabin. Definitely feels a little bit more luxury than the previous MDX, and the last one's not bad by any means. This is just nicer. Now we just have it in the automatic mode, and we are going to get like a partial acceleration here with the new one, and see how that 10 speed kind of does at low speeds. So I mean, same power figures and they weigh about the same, so I can't really feel an acceleration difference between both of them, at least in that mode. But I am going to pop it over into the S mode, sport mode, and then we are in the manual mode as well. And then we are going to be getting our full-blown acceleration here with the new MDX. Oh wow, huge difference with the transmission. That 9-speed's not bad at all. Like the 9-speed's a good transmission, but this 10-speed, it's just the shifts, the downshifts, way crisper. The upshift's quicker, smoother, just it's a better transmission. I mean, that's all I really need to say. Better transmission, hands down. Like, there is no competition between the 10 speed and the 9 speed. The 10 speed's better. But from like the actual like oomph off the line, I can't perceive a difference. I can just feel a difference in the transmission. One thing I do want to mention is the steering wheel feels way nicer in the 2022. Like the grips on the steering wheel and everything, like where your fingers rest and everything, this feels nicer. It actually feels like more like the steering wheel feels like more driver focused. So like the other steering wheel just felt like a nice leather steering wheel. This one, I feel like the grips are perfect for me to do like fun, sporty driving. So this kind of feels nicer, and the turn-in on this is a lot nicer too. Like, this just feels sportier in pretty much every single way. And that'll get me to summing things up with the 2022 MDX. So from the exterior perspective, looks beautiful. I love the new MDX. Definitely has a nice futuristic look to it. And then from an interior perspective, they've definitely brought up the interior a ton. The interior materials are way nicer than the 2020 MDX. So this just looks a lot nicer. From an interior perspective, performance, the acceleration feels about the same, but the transmission feels smoother, feels quicker. And on road, it feels nicer. Like, everything about this feels nicer, and it makes sense because it's a whole new vehicle pretty much compared to the 2020. And so yeah, I love this 2022, and I need to do more reviews like this where I compare whenever like car manufacturers have like a whole new vehicle come out, where I compare the old to the new, because this just shows me how much Acura has improved the new MDX. Like, it is a night and day difference. This drives better, it feels better, like it feels like more of a performance SUV. The other MDX, the 2020, feels like a nice like luxury SUV. This feels like a nice luxury performance SUV. So yeah, I mean, final thoughts on the new MDX. I think it's definitely worth the price premium over the old one. And yeah, if this is the MDX review for the 2022, then see you guys. Now, that is going to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Acura MDX with the technology package. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to Jody Wilkinson Acura for giving me some time with the MDX. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see you